All right, so we're back for class 2 and 3, and we're going to work on the transformation. And I made this for class 2 and class 3 because it's going to take you a little bit of time to figure it out. And I want to make sure you have enough time so that you're happy with your work in the end. So today you're going to work on transforming the person you drew into a cartoon character of the style you chose. So again, for example, if I was drawing my mom is a Boondocks character, I would work on making her look like the Boondocks character. So there's 2 ways that I recommend trying. Try one. If it doesn't work, try the other. If neither are really working, you can always come up with your own way, or just try the way that was that made sense a little bit more to you, and just keep working at it, persist through it. So the first method that I recommend is to draw the real person, just roughly, and then start turning their features into the style of the cartoon you chose. So for example, if you drew your mom, erase her eyes and put Boondock eyes in their place. And then do that with all the characteristics. Nose, mouth, teeth, whatever it is, that will really help. So a lot of my students liked this, but another way you can do it, method 2, would be to draw a cartoon character from the style you chose. So if I started with Huey, let's say from Boondocks, I could draw him and then just slowly adjust his features to look like the real person you chose to draw. So you can read those again, but I want to show you so you can kind of see what I mean. So the second method that I described here would be to start like this. This is a cartoon that I follow. There's a really cool illustrator, husband and wife. And I was like, oh, I really want to do this. It's when COVID first started, and I was like, oh, all these shopping bags when my husband was going to the store, and I was pregnant at the time. So anyway, I drew this just roughly, no shading, no color, just like the basic outline and shapes of the characters. Then I slowly started adjusting things until it turned into myself, my husband, and our 3 dogs. So I adjusted it, but you can see that the pose is very similar, right? My husband's balancing these grocery bags, but instead of the body style and clothes, I put my husband's flannel shirt that he wears, jeans, the hat that he wears, toilet paper coming out because it was so hard to get at the time, Clorox wipes. And then I changed to myself, right? A little bit different than what she was in, different pose, made it look more like me. And then I put our 3 dogs in the picture, and our couch or the blanket, our coffee table, just change things to make it look like you, like whatever person that you're doing. So that's one way you can do that. And then I added some shading because that's what they do in this style a little bit. The first method is you can draw the people and turn them into cartoons. So for this one, I drew this picture of these 3 people, just roughly, okay, from a picture of them. And then I slowly started erasing their figures and features and putting in Robert DeJesus's style. So I looked at some of his pieces and I was like, okay, how does he draw hats? And I drew the hat more like he draws hats. I was like, how does he do eyes? So I picked some eyes from one of his pieces and put those in place of this person's eyes. And the same here. So I exaggerated the eyes of the baby because they were wide open. And then the little Sherpa jacket, I just threw in some quick texture because that's how Robert DeJesus does it. And I put the lines in like you see in his style a lot. So I just tried to look at different pictures. If you look back up here at some of his examples, I tried to look at some different things. And I was like, okay, like I picked eyes from this one. And then like a hat from this one. Like how does he kind of do that? With these like boxy, quick like drawing shapes. So think like that when you're doing it, whatever cartoon style you choose, and that might be really helpful. But again, these are the 2 methods that my students over the years have found really, really helpful when doing a transformation, not necessarily just this project, but in anything. So again, just to summarize, the first idea could be to draw the real person roughly and then start turning them into the features of the cartoon style you chose. So again, I drew these three people and then turned them into Robert DeJesus' style. Method 2, draw a cartoon character from the style you chose. So this would be here, where I just sketched that out. And then I change it into the people that I'm doing, or person that I'm doing. So I would love for you to try one of those two methods. And if it, like I said, if something else is like, oh, this will work for me, then do it, right? That's what's great about art, is that it's not math class. There's not one way to get the answer. There's a million ways. So find what works for you. But I want to share these two methods with you to give you some pointers and see if I could help you point you in the right direction to get started. All right, good luck.